Hey guys, welcome to another episode in the deep playthrough of AC3. We are climbing a skyscraper in the modern timeline, or the current day timeline of 2012, of course. I mean, the game that came out yesterday. We are looking for a kind of a battery, I think. And we have to approach the area from above with a, I assume we're going to base jump from somewhere from the top of that crane, I think it is. It's pretty damn cool parkouring, especially in the previous episodes. Check it out how high it is. When we head to parkour along the outside of the skyscraper, it was pretty cool. My vertigo played up a bit, just like it does now. Can you imagine doing this? You actually see it on YouTube. There are a lot of videos of like crazy Russian dudes climbing barehanded on top of these kind of skyscrapers and cranes, and then just hanging on top of from them on one arm, totally without any security, no lines, no ropes, nothing. I even saw one, I think, where a guy was hanging on top of a crane like this, from a crane, with one hand on the the crane itself, and the other hand he had his body was hanging from him down below him. So he had to carry the weight of his body.
Jump when you're ready, but wait for my signal to open the chute. Timing's really important here. Too soon or too late and you'll miss the building.
Alright, but anyways. Yeah, just totally crazy. He not only did he had to hold on his own weight with only one arm hanging like above like a 3,000 feet gap, but he also had the weight of his friend. He had to carry it because he was dangling below him on his other arm. It's totally crazy. Anyways, here we go.
Now, open your chute now, Desmond.
Ooh, that went good by a bit. Alright, pretty cool. And right on target. Modern day assassin Desmond. Alright, battery, where are you? Apparently there's security around here. They said so in the previous episodes, but don't really see them.
That wasn't so bad.
So, you must be Desmond. Not exactly what I expected, but I guess your kind doesn't have many options these days.
Who are you?
Ask your father. Now give me that.
I don't think so.
Look, I'm not supposed to kill you, but the boss man didn't say anything about fucking you up. So you got to the counter. Oh!
Man, Desmond is badass.
So who the hell is Daniel Cross?
Believe it or not, he used to be an assassin. The assassin, the way I've heard it told, but it turned out he was a sleeper agent for Abstergo, programmed to infiltrate and destroy the organization.
How did he know you were there? We could be compromised.
They must have caught me snooping inside their network and sent Cross to see what we were after. If they were aware of our current location, we'd know. Though, I will say this. It doesn't bode very well for future expeditions.
I've set up some cameras topside.
If anyone shows up, we'll see it.
I'd suggest you go see about finding a socket for that power source. Or we can return to Connor if you prefer. All the artifacts in the world won't mean a thing without the key.
Right, before we get back to Connor, let's do a little bit of exposition.
I know everyone thinks I'm being silly, but I can't shake the feeling we're being watched.
We are being watched. By Juno. Or some version of her.
Do you think it's a recording? Or is she a ghost? Or something else? Is she talking to us the way Minerva talked to Ezio?
No clue. I mean, who knows what else they were working on down here? There's still so many rooms we don't have access to.
But do you think she's like literally down here, waiting somewhere, still alive?
Still alive? That's mental. That means she'd be at least 75, 80,000 years old? No, powerful, yeah, but not that powerful.
They came down here looking for a way to survive. Maybe they found one. Was it weird seeing Cross?
What do you mean?
It's different for you. You don't know about what happened, I guess. For a long time, he was important to us. He was a different person.
Sean said he was a sleeper agent. Like Lucy.
It was different. She made a choice, but Cross, if you read the files, Abstergo just... They did terrible things to him.
Rebecca?
You're lucky. We all are. We have people who care about us, who look out for us. He was all alone, and the people he thought he could trust, they used him.
Did you know him?
No, but I knew Hannah.
Who's that?
She tried to help him. She trusted him. But there was a raid about a year ago. She stayed behind so the others could escape. Tried to reason with him, to see if she could fix things.
Well, what happened?
What do you think happened? He killed her. That's what he does. That's all he knows how to do. Sometimes it seems like that's all any of us know how to do.
Rebecca.
I just want to be alone right now.
Right, that was her dialogue. Let's talk with Desmond's father. Pretty complicated relation, the two heads. Earlier, father smacked Desmond across the head.
Son, I owe you an apology. I shouldn't have lashed out like that. You have to understand, I've never been very good at this. Never mind that we live rather extraordinary lives.
Yeah, I kinda liked my ordinary one.
You can't escape who you are, Desmond.
So I've noticed.
Look, it's silly for us to go back and forth like this. I admit, I did a shitty job raising you. I apologize, I'm sorry. But it's important you understand it didn't come from a bad place. You're my son. I love you. I guess I was so busy trying to make sure nothing bad happened, I didn't consider the consequences. Truce.
I can't believe it's taken me so long to ask, but... how's Mom? She's not...
No. Your mother is fine. We decided it was safer if we split up for this job.
Always assuming the worst.
For good reason.
Can I at least say hi to her?
I'm sorry, it's too risky. Maybe when we're done.
Right. When we're done. Have we ever tried to make peace with the Templars?
Throughout our history, there have been moments. Several, in fact. But it's impossible. There are existential differences, insurmountable. If there were to be unity, it wouldn't be a truce so much as a submission.
But knowing what's about to happen, wouldn't it make sense to try and talk to Vidic? Come to an arrangement, even if it's only temporary?
We'd all be so busy watching our backs, nothing would get accomplished. Imagine that. We're more productive at war.
Well, have we ever tried sending in someone? Doing to them what they did to us with Lucy? Or Cross?
We have, and it's never worked. We've sent people who were either too weak and found themselves turned, or too strong and were unable to carry out the charade.
I just feel like we all want the same thing.
We use the same words, but that's all they are, words. In the end, it all comes down to freedom. We seek it, they detest it. And so there's never an end to the fight. Not until one side is completely gone.
Is that even possible?
Probably not. Our two groups have existed in one form or another since, well, since forever. But things can be better than they are. And that's something.
Did you look for me, Dad? When I was gone?
Every day.
Come on.
I mean it. Every night I'd look, searching for your name or variations of it, hoping you'd slip up. Abstergo only found you first because they had better access. A few more days and it would have been me.
Well, I'm here now.
And I'm glad.
Do you think Lucy regretted what she was doing?
I used to think I knew her well, but clearly that wasn't the case. So I really can't give you an honest answer.
She seemed so sincere, though. Like she really wanted to make a difference.
Yes, well, when I first met him, I thought the same thing about Cross.
It just keeps happening over and over again.
What does?
Everything.
Don't get weird on me, Desmond.
No, it's fine. I'm fine. Don't worry.
All right, then. You should think about getting back in the Animus. We've got to find that key.
Right.
We should probably get back to Connor.
Lucy, that's probably in an earlier AC game. I still have to play the Ezio trilogy, and the modern day story probably involves Lucy. I'm not sure, but I have no idea who that is. Let's see if this dude has something to say.
Ah, Desmond, there you are. Can I ask a favour?
Maybe.
When this is all over, I'd like to try turning the dial back on the Animus. Like, all the way back. To the time of the first civilization.
You think it would work?
There was no real loss of fidelity when you visited Altair. Then again, that was about 1,000 years ago, and I'm looking at going back at least 70,000 more.
Sure, I'd be up for it. Be interesting to see what things were like back then.
Excellent. I think it would prove most enlightening. So this is how it started.
What are you up to?
Just brushing up on my American history. Well, I say history. They certainly teach you strange things in the States.
Like what?
Well, for all the talk of this being a revolutionary war, it was a civil one. Well, not that kind of civil. I mean, there was no America versus Britain. It was Brit on Brit action. And you can clearly see how the whole thing got started. One war gave birth to the other.
You mean the 7 Years' War?
Exactly. Seems the Crown overspent in its attempt to keep the French out. Wound up with a great deal of debt. Believing that the colonists should help to shoulder the burden, new taxes were created. It was a reasonable request, even if Parliament was rather, well, undiplomatic about it.
Well, it's not really fair to tax people for a war they didn't want any part of.
What? Didn't want any part of? Did you not notice George Washington with Edward Braddock? He was right there in the middle of it. So here you have the Crown spending who knows how much money to secure a place for the colonists to thrive, and then, when they ask for a little bit of help... Right, look, think of it this way. King George and the colonists, they all go out to dinner, right? And when the bill comes, George asks for them to kick in and pay their share. Fair enough. Now keep in mind, he's been taking them out to dinner gratis for decades now. But the colonists, oh no, they insist they only had a glass of water and a side salad. Never mind the table's full of half-eaten food and empty bottles of wine. Now when the king points this out, what do the colonists do? Oh, they flip the table over and they storm out the restaurant. Probably intending to return later and burn it down.
You left out the part where the king pointed a gun at the colonists and asked them to cover dinner for everyone in the restaurant.
Right, yeah, interesting take. If he pulled out a gun, and I'm not sure he did, it would only have been after the 100th failed attempt at getting them to pay their fair share.
But how do you define someone's fair share?
Oh, well, with a war, apparently.
Right, interesting discussion. Never really thought too much about the ins and outs of the Revolutionary Wars. But I'm sure the British had their valid arguments from their own perspective.
I wonder how many other places like this exist.
There are dozens of them, all over the world.
And somehow no one's ever found one before us.
I don't think that's true.
Oh?
When I was at Abstergo, Vidic talked about silencing discoveries made by non-Templars. And I'm sure Abstergo has dug up plenty.
The things they must know.
Regretting throwing in with us?
No. Just looking forward to when we can finally trounce those bastards so I can dive into their archives.
Right, sorry guys, my cat is jumping on my lap.
Oh, I think I found a lead on another power source. Later, Desmond. I'm in the middle of something very important right now. Just, that's a rule. Just follow that as a rule.
Right, no idea what that means. And I cannot interact with him anymore. That lady is still upstairs. Let's also talk to her. Whatever her name was. Juno. And also, shouldn't we put like the battery somewhere? Ah, this guy, can we?
Come on, son, we got work to do.
Alright, nope. See if we can talk to the spirit lady upstairs, the precursor lady. Maybe we can put that battery over here. Nope. So. Come on, Desmond. You can do this. There she is.
Wonder what's inside.
Only one way to find out.
Pretty interesting. Right. See us in different spots. Something opened up. What opened up? Nobody seems really phased about it. Pretty sure. Ah, there it is. See if there's some new dialogue with the girl. Rebecca.
I just want to be alone right now.
What is a fact? Is it fixed? written in its existence and only awaiting discovery? Or might it be changed? Here we learned the answer, and thought that it might save us. They were used to command, to control, to own. But we soon discovered another use. When enough sat in thrall and were told to believe, their thoughts took on form. What was imagined became real. If 100 minds could wish away a wall or create a tree, what might 1,000 do? 10,000? More? Might we change the consensus and will the threat away? We resolved to send one into the sky where it might illuminate us all. Once placed, a sentence would be uttered. Make us safe. In this way, we would change the consensus. We would save the world. But it never came to be. We sent a dozen of them skyward, but there was no way to maintain control, to direct the beam, to enthrall the world, to speak the words. Though this was strange and dangerous, what we tried next was worse.
Right, interesting.
Our first instinct was to travel back, to change the past. But we could not find a way. But forward, we could look forward. And so here we sought to see beyond ourselves, and know what was to come. First we watched to learn if our work would succeed. But the answer was always the same. So we moved on to other things, but she remained. The one you call Minerva. In time, she too stopped looking, and instead began to speak. She called out across time, in the hopes that you might be saved. She hid messages where none might find them, save for you and those within this place.
Fascinating.
Tired of it. The cryptic warnings, the threats. Just tell us what you want!
But they are. We saw the Nephilim there. We seemed like grasshoppers in our own eyes, and we looked the same to them. Imagine trying to explain all this to a 2-year-old, to a grasshopper. When they said the will of the gods was unknowable, they meant it. Literally.
I killed her, you know. I killed Lucy.
It was the apple, son. It was Juno.
I saw what she was. What would happen if I let her live? I could have stopped myself. I mean, there was a force there. But I didn't have to. I chose to.
Desmond.
Lucy was going to betray us and take the apple back to Abstergo. I saw the satellite launched. I saw them turn it on, and then it failed. Whatever's on the other side of that door, it benefits Juno. We need to be careful.
Right. And who was Juno again? That is, I guess, that sci-fi lady that we are talking with. Holy shit, it's pretty big over here. I guess that's the way out. Alright, no idea how to get there. I think we are hitting a dead end. Unless here, there may be something over here. Looks pretty similar. No, this is where I just was as well. Yeah. I guess this is just the way down again. Randomly trying to find stuff, but it all loops. Ah, I found her. Nice. Ah, that didn't do much. Ah, another key. Hole. I don't think there is anything here anymore. So probably time to say hi to Connor once more. Feeling that we need to get down, not up. Get out of here. God damn it. Any way out, peoples? This was the way up to her. Yeah, and this is where we came from. Yeah, so it really is like looping in. This is probably indeed a relevant area. It's not like they're building it for nothing, but it's only relevant once you have another key, I guess. Because over here, that looks like another keyhole. Can I make this jump? Yes, alright. Any more dialogue?
I just want to be alone right now.
Nope. Alright, let's go back to Connor. See you later, dudes.
Good luck, Desmond.
These are troubled times. The already uneasy alliance between the Crown and its subjects frays. And behind them both the Templars plot, pulling strings and moving pieces. History dictates they seek order through control. But how will they affect it here? Who supports them? And what conspiracies have they already spun?
Spare a moment.
All these things I must determine.
Of course.
For only by knowing my enemy can I hope to stop them.
What is it? Xingbao, or rope dart if you prefer. One of the many plans given to us by Xiao Yun to...
Sorry.
We'll have to work on this.
Ganondogo.
Yes, my friend.
What brings you here? Is the village all right?
For now.
What do you mean? What has happened?
Men came, claiming we had to leave. They said that the land was being sold, and that the Confederacy had consented. We sent an envoy, but they would not listen.
You must refuse!
We cannot oppose the Sachem, but you're right as well. We cannot give up our home.
Do you have a name? Do you know who is responsible?
He's called William Johnson.
Where is Johnson now?
In Boston, making preparations for the sale.
Sale? This is theft!
Connor, take care. These men are powerful.
What would you have me do? I made a promise to my people.
If you insist upon this course of action, seek out Sam Adams in Boston. He'll be able to help. What have you done?
When my people go to war, a hatchet is buried into a post to signify its start. When the threat is ended, the hatchet is removed.
You could have used a tree.
Indeed. Connor is a little bit arrogant, indeed. Anywho, I was wondering, is that Juno character, is she in the database? Oh, wrong button. It's not really a person, of course. But we could look. Oh, June. No. Man, I still have to read a lot. God damn it. Groups. No precursor entries. No. You can visit the Harbor Master for more naval missions. Right, nice. Yeah, maybe before going out to Boston and going on that main campaign mission, maybe it's nice to upgrade the homestead bit. Get some more money flowing in, because currently, where can I see it? Inventory. Here, we have 8,300. I'm not sure whether that is all that good. Or maybe I can do one main campaign mission, and then we will be looking for upgrades and stuff. No, let's first do these upgrade missions indeed. Back leg mission, there's enough to do. What's up in the frontier? This is Boston. Alright, also let's get a little bit of a grip. So this is Boston and this is the frontier. I do think... Where does this one go? Or this one? So there are actually only 3 areas currently: Frontier, Boston and the Homestead. Anywho, what was I thinking of doing? Yeah, in the next episode, because I'm hitting the 40-minute marker now already again, I will just do some of these upgrade missions and probably also some naval missions to upgrade the Aquila. I think that can all be good for... that also lowers the tax for trading, I think, or sending goods on convoys. Also clearing out these enemy camps. Well, I don't see anything. There was one that we already cleared out. No idea where it is now. Is that Boston? No. I have the feeling that there are more frontier areas, by the way. Like that if you go over here and then you fast travel, that you hit another frontier area maybe. I'm not 100% sure, but I don't understand why you cannot access, if they are there, why you wouldn't be able to access them from this top level, high level select screen. We can only access one frontier area currently. Because I remember, or I seem to remember, there was at least an area where we, a couple of episodes ago, cleared one of these military camps. I don't see that anywhere here. And I a little bit lost my train of thought, but yes, clearing those camps, they actually also, what I seem to remember to have read, they also lower the tax rates when you sell items. So doing naval missions, clearing camps, that's all good for eventually, indirectly for income. And also for trading and crafting, we need to do all these homestead missions, because then we can create more valuable items, I guess. And also we need to get recipes to trade items. But yeah, in the next episode, let's just do some side missions, maybe some naval missions, and then later on we will be continuing with sequence 5, I think we are in. Or no, we are now actually in sequence 6 already. Find Samuel Adams to learn more about William Johnson's plans. Alright, that's the guy, I think, who wants to sell the India village, which is, of course, terrible. Hey, there's actually an a naval shop somewhere as well. Improved rudder, naval ram, iron hull, wooden hull, grape shots, heat shots, improved rudder, normal swords, Shao Jun. Why does he suddenly appear in the database? No ID. Davenports, David and Richard Clutterbuck, that are the guys, the cannoneers on the Aquila. Convoy has returned to the homestead. Ah, we made 65, very nice. Land convoy, Animus database, entries, Robert Faulkner, no ID. New email received. Leave the Animus to read it. Holy shit, does that mean that there are emails? In that area? Totally missed that. Let's quickly check it out. Here. The emails over here.
I just want to be alone right now.
Any emails, peoples? I don't see any emails. What am I missing here? Any emails here? Ah. Yes. Alright, what can we do here? Mission replay. Modern tower. Nope. We already did that one, right? Received mails. Oh, god damn it. Quite a lot of emails. S. Hastings, Bulls. We've got a visitor down here. It's Juno. She's been appearing every now and then. And this is October 31st, 2012. So that's the current day. Sort of fits through the air, reminds us to guard you well. Find the key, blah blah, and then poof disappears. Alright, god damn it. That are a lot of emails I've missed. Alright, no use trying to do that all now. Already over the 40-minute marker, so we will be doing that in one, yeah, maybe the next episode. Let's start that, because I will not read everything and save up everything before till the end, because then it really will be a full book. So let's do the modern day emails now, because it's also later on I can probably remember what I've already read, because I assume it is chronological. Yeah, I don't know. So this is the earliest email. This is 30th October. Yeah, and then we go to November. Yeah, so the bottom ones are the newer ones, but let's read this in the next episodes, and then in a couple of episodes we will also be starting with the database entries. The only problem with the database entries I personally find is, oh, I cannot get the menu up now, so let's get back to Connor. The problem I find with this database, Animus database entries, is they have like exclamation marks in front of them, but sometimes you're looking for one specific thing. Let's say I want to know something now about David and Richard Clutterbuck. Then you go down. Ah, now they remain. That's pretty nice. Or is it maybe over here difference? Ah, they remain unless you open them. Because in Unity they disappear even if you scroll over them, and that makes it very difficult if you get like a gazillion database entries and you already start reading some, and then at the end you are like, okay, let's mop up any entries that we did not read yet, and then it's totally confusing. You spend like a lot of time checking what you did read and which are the new ones. But over here it's actually, if it works like this, that's amazing. That you really, only if you open them does the exclamation mark remove. So that makes it much easier to do this piece by piece reading through the database. So in the Next episode we will be reading the emails, and then a couple of episodes later let's then do some side missions, and then afterwards also start reading some of the database entries. Also knowing that not each one without an exclamation mark I've already read. Some of them I just opened and closed again, but did not read yet. So, and I don't want to miss them out, so I have to really remember well what I've read and did not read yet. Anyways, let's get out of the enemies, so that I remember to read the emails in the next episode and then the side missions. Guys, hope you enjoyed. Sorry for my babbling at the end, but it's also just me forming a plan a bit. These are such big games, you really have to sometimes make a plan, otherwise it can be a bit overwhelming of what to do. But hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you in the next one. Also on behalf of Desmond, do not forget always to keep on gaming. See you later.